Friends, from today I have decided to daily speak to you about the greatness of our Indian Constitution. Some important features, some important sections, almost in course of time, I will try to cover all the 444 articles, 444 articles of the Constitution, and also the schedules, the 12 schedules of the Constitution, and the latest amendment, that is up to 124 amendments till date. I will try to cover in the coming days. As far as possible, I will try to cover all the constitutional amendments and the constitutional provisions, constitutional articles, schedules, etc., which will be very useful for the students, of all genre. The students who go for civil services examination also can benefit from the constitutional classes that I am going to take. Today I would like to discuss the ordinance making power of the state. Ordinance making power, what is that? Ordinance has the full power of the law. When the law is made, the effect of law is as equal to the ordinance that is moved by the state. Law and the ordinance both have the same power in the eye of law. So friends, today I would like to tell you something about what is the ordinance. Friends, remember, for making a law, the process usually is a bill is moved in the either house of the assembly or the parliament, as the case may be. The bill is subject to discussion. Then the bill is passed from the legislative assembly to the council. Then it goes to the governor. The governor has to give his assent to the bill. Then the bill becomes an act. All this takes a pretty long time. Similarly, in the Lok Sabha also, when a bill is introduced in the Lok Sabha, the bill is discussed among all the members of the Lok Sabha. Then it goes to the Rajya Sabha. There also the discussion takes place. Then the Rajya Sabha, if it makes any amendments or any suggestions, the bill is returned from the Rajya Sabha to the Lok Sabha. Then again the Lok Sabha discusses, and once again if the Lok Sabha sends the bill back to the Rajya Sabha, then the Rajya Sabha, the upper house, has to give his consent to the president. That is the usual process. But all this process takes a pretty long time. So the constitution makers, in their wisdom, has devised an innovative strategy of overcoming all these time hurdles, because ultimately the fairness of justice requires that the law has to be made immediately. To meet the ends of justice, there is a provision called 123 of the Constitution pertaining to the Parliament, and 213 of the Constitution pertaining to the state assemblies related to the ordinance making power of the state. Friends, here all of you should remember that only when the Parliament houses, both houses of Parliament, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, are not in session. Very, very important, you have to remember, dear friends, when the Parliament, either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, are not in session and there is an urgency, and if the president is satisfied that there are conditions that exist for promulgation of an ordinance, then the president, on the recommendations of the Council of Ministers, will have to give his consent to the ordinance. Then similarly, the ordinance is also moved in the state assemblies also only when the legislative council or the legislative assembly is not in session. When they are not in session, the ordinance is issued immediately, urgently, on the subjective satisfaction of the governor or the president, as the case may be. But here, friends, remember, when the law making power of the legislature is taken away by an executive fiat called ordinance, then the constitution makers also had certain checks and balances on it. This ordinance has to be ratified within 6 weeks after the convening of the assembly or the parliament, as the case may be. and suppose within the 6 weeks the bill is the ordinance is not ratified, the ordinance will die a natural death. It can, and suppose the bill is ratified, then that becomes a law. If the bill is not ratified, the ordinance, the life of an ordinance is only for a period of 6 weeks from the date of reconvening of the assembly or the parliament session, as the case may be. In all, what does it mean is an ordinance has a full effect of the law because it is given the consent by the president or the governor, as the case may be. So for all practical purposes it is a law, but the law in the form of an ordinance has a power only for 6 weeks from the date of reconvening of assembly or the parliament, as the case may be. In all, let me tell you what is the total life period of an ordinance. If you were to say, suppose in between two sessions, one session of the assembly takes place, the second session of the assembly or the second session of the parliament, the maximum period between two sessions of the parliament or the two sessions of the assembly is only 6 months. That is 6 months under Article 85 Clause 1 of the Constitution. 6 months shall not intervene between two sessions. That is the constitutional directives. So in all, when an ordinance, the maximum period, unless it is ratified by both houses, the maximum period will be 6 months and 6 weeks. Then subsequently, if the ordinance is ratified within that period, it is ratified. Otherwise, it will have to natural death by the end of the 6 weeks period. So this is what my opinion on the ordinance. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and dear friends, don't forget to subscribe this video. In course of time, regularly, almost daily, I'll be telling you some other important feature of the Constitution in a random way. I won't tell you from chapter wise, because chapter wise is not useful for the examination point of view. I will tell you very important provisions of the Constitution. So dear friends, please subscribe to my channel.